We are back and we are better. It's a new day and I'm ready to talk about some self-love. I got ChatGPT to draft me a little self-love era plan, and so that's what I'm going to be referring to in the video. Before I get started on like the habits and the routines that I've been implementing, I wanted to read this quick passage. I heard it on a podcast and it really spoke to me. Self-love is about recognizing your value. Self-love is about having your own back as a result of that recognition. It's about gaining confidence from being okay with losing anyone or anything before losing your own mental health. Self-love is about understanding that anyone who makes you feel worthless does so because they cannot tap into their own worth. That is the best definition of self-love that I think I've ever heard. All of that pretty much ties up the purpose behind this journey for me and what self-love means for me. It really encompasses every single thing that I'm trying to learn about myself and do better with. Having my own back more, gaining confidence to let go of situations and people who no longer serve me, and being okay and content with that decision. One thing I've been doing that I really love is taking myself out to dinner, to lunch, on a coffee date, on an ice cream date, just taking myself out and getting out of the apartment and being okay with going alone and enjoying my own company. I actually went on this really amazing dinner. It was actually in a partnership with Maggiano's, and I decided to make it a date night, and I just had such a good time. Just being able to sit with myself while eating pasta and drinking cocktails and just vibing and enjoying my own company was so therapeutic and refreshing. I'm not gonna lie, it does feel a little awkward at first. Sometimes I'll bring my Kindle and read a book or just scroll on my phone, whatever. I try to stay present in the moment and in my own bubble. But honestly, nobody cares. And I know people say that all the time, and in the situation you still feel like people care, but I promise you, literally nobody cares. That is your brain lying to you. That's your brain tricking you into thinking that everybody's looking at you like you're some weirdo sitting at dinner by herself. But in reality, like, that's cool. That's cool AF. I don't care what anybody says. Having the confidence to go to dinner by yourself when you're surrounded by all these couples and families and friends, it's so badass. Like, and it's also just fun. And the more you do it, the more you learn to enjoy your own presence and just being able to sit in stillness. I think that's a big thing. Like, not having to have a conversation with anyone, and just sitting with myself and my own thoughts. Definitely one of my favorite things that I've been doing for myself recently. I know when I hear people say get a hobby, it comes off kind of harsh, but also it's just the truth. You have to figure out how to keep yourself busy and how to fill up the emptiness throughout the day, or the void or downtime throughout the day. Not saying that you have to be on go 24/7, but sticking to your routines and filling your days with things that make you feel good, all of that is going to do miracles on your self-love journey. I'm doing more of like side quest / passion projects. Right now I'm working on my gallery wall, and even that, like, that itself I consider a hobby. Just doing projects or activities that just make me feel good and is going to better me and help my creative juices flow. I just love doing stuff like that. And I've also been reading a lot more. I've been wanting to do cooking classes, so I'll probably do something cool like that. My workout classes I would consider a hobby of mine as well. I'm the type of person though that I want to have like a million things to do, just because I think trying new things and variety is fun. But like finding things or hobbies that aren't necessarily paying my bills, but doing it just because I enjoy doing it. Probably the biggest thing that's helped with everything that I talk about in this video is sticking to solid routines. If you guys haven't prioritized ChatGPT to create your daily routines and weekly routines, what are you doing? Me and her are locked in because she created me my ultimate self-care routine slash daily routine schedule. Of course, I customize it a little bit, but for the most part, she understood the assignment. She did have me waking up at like 6 a.m. though, and I had to tell her, girl, not too much. Even if you don't necessarily want to use ChatGPT, you already have your own routine that you have in mind. Routines are so important. When I have routines and I have things to look forward to, and I know the things that I have to get done that day and throughout the week, I just feel so much more put together. It makes your life so much easier. Now I just need to work on sticking to them. And really, like, my biggest tip for staying consistent with your routines is just having fun with it. Like, not making it too boring or too strict or too busy. Doing things to romanticize that time of your day. So I'll romanticize my skincare routine, my cup of coffee in the morning, my breakfast, my morning walk. Literally every single step of my morning routine, I have to romanticize, to the point where, like, I will ask Alexa to play music as soon as I step foot out of bed, or play a podcast as soon as I step foot out of bed. Not saying that's the healthiest thing, I don't know, but for me, it helps. It helps to romanticize it. It helps me to, like, get out of that sleepy state and just, like, wake up and be ready to take on the day. Sometimes the best love you can show yourself is showing up for the things you know you'll thank yourself for later. Getting out of that present mindset and getting into that future mindset. What does the highest version of Tia look like? What does the highest version of you look like? You got to show up as that girl each and every day if you want to be that girl. This one kind of ties into the solo dating, falling in love with your own presence. I had the most wonderful night 2 nights ago. I was putting up my Christmas tree, listening to Christmas music, drinking hot cocoa. I had my cute PJs on. I was thriving. In the middle of that, I kind of got a little emotional just thinking about how happy I was and how content I was. Previously, I would see that moment as, I don't know, maybe something sad, or feeling like I'm lacking something. I'm lacking a person. I'm having to do all of this alone. I would think of the glass half empty and not half full. But the other night, I wasn't thinking about any of that. I was thinking about being in that present moment and enjoying myself, and putting up my Christmas tree and decorating my apartment all cute and Christmassy and girly, and making myself a cup of hot chocolate and dancing around my apartment. And that is how I want every single moment with myself to be. I just want to be, just be. That's it. I just want to be, and I want to be happy and content with where I am. And that is what the self-love journey is all about. Enjoying your own company, savoring it, because girl, I think about this all the time. I'm single and childless right now. Who's to say this isn't the last chapter in my life that I'm going to be able to say that? What if the love of my life comes crawling to me tomorrow and I fall in love and we live happily ever after? Like, I'm gonna have to deal with that man for the rest of my life. I'm gonna have to deal with a man for the rest of my life. Like, I don't need that anytime soon. I want to enjoy being single, being alone but not lonely, because I may never have this chapter again, and so I'm making the most out of it. I really love looking at myself in the mirror, not only because I'm gorgeous, but because I like to talk to myself and compliment myself. You have to adore yourself so freaking much. You have to be so obsessed with yourself in a healthy way, in a way that brings out the best in you so that you can bring out the best in other people. You just have to be okay with like knowing you're that girl. And that took me the longest to accept, because I always felt like me acknowledging the fact that I was beautiful, for some reason that made me uncomfortable, because it may have made other people around me uncomfortable, and I didn't want to make it seem like I was too full of myself. Like, I really toned it down for so many years. But why though? Like, as long as you're not doing it in a conceited way or an unhealthy way, there is nothing wrong with hyping yourself up, and there is nothing wrong with thinking that you are the most beautiful woman on this planet. You should think that. This is you. You're you. You only have one life. You need to be obsessed with yourself, girl, because why wouldn't you? Why would you waste your one life hating yourself, not loving yourself, not choosing yourself? It doesn't even make sense. Like, why would you do that? Don't do that. Journaling has done wonders for me. I have so many journals. I wasn't lying. This is the one that I use the most, the 5-minute journal. I use this in the morning and before I go to bed. I really love this self-love journal for Black women. It has so many exercises on building your self-love and becoming and nurturing your true self. There's so many cool prompts and so many cool themes. This one is, it's like really random questions, but it's all about you and looking within and getting to know yourself more. So this one says, an area of your life you can practice patience, and you literally just jot down whatever comes to mind. Something you weren't ready for, something you've been forcing, ways you've been underestimated, a decision you made recently that showed you how much you've grown. Like, all of these prompts are so cool, and they're all things that you wouldn't typically ask yourself. And then this one is just my random journal. I write everything in here. My life is in here. Every little bit of trauma in this journal. And I'm actually running out of space. I have like 5 more pages left, so I'm gonna need another trauma dump journal very soon. I also love these like card games. These are also by We're Not Really Strangers. Just prompts to teach you more about yourself. In what ways do you enjoy taking care of yourself? What's the best thing you've done for yourself recently? Who do you change for? So many good prompts and questions. And I also love how these prompts are sectioned off into past, present, and future, so you can ask yourself different questions just based off of what you're feeling. And then this one I wanted to highlight. This isn't a journal, but it is a very good self-help book. Her name is Deja Ray, I think I'm pronouncing that right. It's basically just about a bunch of like poems and basically excerpts of her journal entries, and they're all about coming home to yourself and prioritizing your peace, all that stuff. Your capacity to love is marked by your capacity to be alone. That's a fact. It's a fact. It's so good. I'll link all of these journals below if I can find them. I'm pretty sure this one is on Amazon. I'm pretty sure all of these are on Amazon, honestly. I could talk about this forever. I really could. I've already learned so much about myself this year in 2024, and I just know that 2025 is really going to be that year that I start implementing everything that I've learned this year and really living for myself and in my truth, and doing it unapologetically. I think the most important thing to remember is that this journey, it's not something that's quick and easy. It's not something that can happen tomorrow. It's not a quick transformation. And honestly, in my opinion, it's never ending. Like, there's always going to be some BS in life and traumas that you're going to have to work through. I think that as humans, we are all on this journey of self-improvement, and I think it's more prominent in certain chapters in your life. It's been really prominent in my 20s. I'm sure it's similar for a lot of people, but just understanding that it's gonna take time and it's gonna take a lot of hard work and dedication, and it's gonna be uncomfortable. It's gonna be lonely sometimes. You might have to cry yourself to sleep at night sometimes, but baby girl, cry your eyes out, cry yourself to sleep, feel your emotions, do all the things, because that is what's going to make you a better, stronger person, a better, stronger, more confident, badass woman. Hello. The important thing is what you do after. Are you going to let your hardships defeat you? Or are you gonna wake up the next morning, wipe that crust from your eye, and dance in your kitchen, making yourself breakfast in a glow smoothie, listening to Glorilla, reminding yourself that you're that girl and that you choose you. You choose to live your life and live that day for you. I love you guys so much. I invite you all, regardless of where you are on your self-love journey or the challenges that you're currently dealing with in life, I encourage you to decide today that from here on out, you are living your life for you and you are doing what is best for you. I encourage you to do the work. I encourage you to date yourself. I encourage you to learn more about yourself, to fall in love with yourself again, and to choose you. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful. I'm definitely feeling super inspired. I hope you are too. Mwah. I'll see you guys in the next video.